Hi, this is Mike, and we're going to work on cloud search. This is part 2, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to do this Acme example. All right, so getting back to this search example, what I'm showing here is the user starts to search it, to enter a search term, and then search results are displayed. If they select an item, then they will then change to that view. So if I am just gonna make some space here so I can label things a little bit. Okay, so let's say that the user selected this comment. That's a good one because it's kind of an unusual one. Then they would go to the editor. So let's see this. Let's make a label here so we can indicate what view we're looking at. Okay. User selects search icon from toolbar. Let's do this sort of just to show some of the key steps in this flow. The I also want to do something where we show if there are more results, then let's see. Actually, I don't know. I don't think we need a separate page. I was starting to think that maybe it would be good to have a separate page to view the rest of the results, but I changed my mind. I already decided against doing that. So what we should do instead is, when there are more that results that can fit in the dialog, then we need a scroll bar. Okay, so then okay, search dialog shows auto completion with matching results. If user selects a result, app forwards to that result page, result view. So in this case, if I had selected, I like to do this thing where I show the click like this. So if the user clicked on this result, then this would forward to Acme. This would be Acme forum, right? So this goes to this editor view. So I'm actually going to break this apart from the symbol because I'm going to change it a little bit. And this is now the editor, so it's project, edit, view, help. And then, so enter search terms, and then go to a result. So there's a bunch of icons here. This is I'm just gonna make this a box. It's grid, and this is plus. So this is the editor, and then there's a bunch of other icons, but this is not there. I'm just gonna make it look like a toolbar here. All right, that should give you the sense that you're in the editor. So this is, just put a note here. And so in this case, we clicked a comment, right? So not entirely sure if this will be possible, but it would be cool if we highlighted that comment. So let's see. So if we had a bunch of text, right? We had a bunch of comments over here. I'm just gonna draw. Actually, this is a line of text that I want, right? So if I do the T, let's say we got a bunch of comments here in the comments panel. Right, so maybe what we could do is highlight that comment momentarily. Maybe. We'll float that idea. So this is the editor. Showing comments highlighted. Use a flash of background color. It's an idea that we can work on or discuss. This got truncated. This should be Acme forum, right? So we're in the forum page, showing selected comment, editor for forum project. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this as a as an idea. And then this is, let's see, this is search from space views, project, say from non-editor views. So I'm going to copy this editor view, right? And then use that to show that we have a menu, a drop-down menu for projects here. All right, so if you look at the editor, we have a project menu, we have an edit menu, and a view menu. I'm looking for a place to put search space here. So these are all, the project menu has this exit to Balsamiq space or exit to whatever your space is that you're working in. We could put a search in here somewhere that opens a dialog. I think that it's not a primary function within the editor, so I don't want to put it in the toolbar anywhere, but I think one place to put it might be here where exit to spaces. So I'm going to just do a quick menu here. Okay, I just dropped this in from Sketch so that I can see what my menu items are. And let's put a menu in the page. And let's say we have the same thing, rename project. All right, so I just made this menu real quick. I think that this is the place to put it. If we have a search space item here, which lives next to the exit Balsamiq space, then we might have, and then this would show the dialog. Show search dialog, and then I think that's all I need to do for now. Then I can just discuss what that means, because it's basically what I intend here is that we basically use the same dialog as in the other example. I'm just gonna move this around so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, so if you select search space here, then the search dialog appears, and then you can start to search within the editor. Okay, you just select search from menu, project menu, and then I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to show this flow here. Let's move this down to another section. So then same thing should happen over there. So I'm going to, let's see, let's lock this, lock these guys. Okay, so what I want to happen is I want the same dialog to appear here, and then search dialog. Appears. Oh, actually, this is the. It's this one that I want. Search dialog appears in editor. Follow the same behavior as search in non-editor. Oh, it looks like I can duplicate this. Search from toolbar. All right, so that's looking okay. And then this is my search result types. All right, I think this is a good start for how this could work. I'm going to stop here and then just get some feedback, review, walk through this scenario with a couple people, and then see what we need to change here. Okay, so we did a walkthrough to review these wireframes, and this is where we ended up. This is the search from a non-editor view in the left side, and then this is within the editor. Not much changed with the design. Actually, a couple of things were removed. Initially was going to have search open up a new page, but it's going to all happen within this dialog. So this got simplified a little bit, just the search input. What else did we change? I just did a little bit more fleshing out of what the search results should look like, and as usual, cleaned up and added some annotation to clarify what should happen. We have a little discussion about where search should happen, and we are having search so that it will include the text in the wireframe. And you can search within all spaces from your space view. So, for instance, if you were up at this highest level here, you can search across all spaces as well. So if the search icon was here, then you would search all of these 4 different spaces in my case. So I just cleaned up this flow here to show that this happens from the spaces view, from your single space view, or from within the project. And I think that about does it. This is the final wireframe, and we're going to probably start to work on it and then review and make some iterations from there. Okay, thanks for watching.